Alright, hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals out there across the electrical ocean. This is Jazzman, and we are back with another game. Boy, that's like top 10 phrases I bet you thought you'd never hear again. I don't know, man. I've really been out of it since the end of Christmas holidays. You guys ever get the end of Christmas blues? Where it's just like you feel like laying in bed till noon for like a week after Christmas ends. And I'm still feeling that. I fell out of playing the game for a while, and recording as well. But yeah, did anyone end up missing me that time I was gone? Anyone? Bueller? No? Okay. Well, too bad. We're back watching some more games. And this one's going to be a KF mirror match between Etherielin, who's, he's got a Condor Fury here, and a Deadly Tracker on top, and then Raziella, who's got that Elven Blade Master heading down bot side. And they both actually deployed their first champions top side here on the new Norglades, which I don't think I have a video out yet. Yeah, sort of prioritizing top now that the mid-font is here. Well, a second mid-font is here. And the mid-font, of course, still down bot side. I hesitate to get attached to these maps because they're in the process of being changed again. So it's like, well, they're just going to be changed again. I kind of like the new Norglades. The one gripe I have with this map is that this space here, this one space right outside the shrine, is impeding to water. And this area around the font is also impeding to water. So it's like anything that's not FS kind of gets screwed with your deploys unless you draw like an 8-speed champion. Like you can't get to this font. If that changed and, some of this, inaccessible terrain maybe was taken away. I know we can't do that, but I kind of wish we could. If that changed, I think this map would be fine. I don't really see a problem with it otherwise. But yeah, Eth's sort of flexing with the Royal Condor Fury here with his mod powers. I don't actually have a game of his out yet, so hopefully he manages to perform according to expectations. Former game developer Etherielin, but nah, he's gonna send two champions here versus Raziella. And he's actually deployed the Bowmage down bot as well to help reinforce. I think that's a good choice against a Blade Master. Because otherwise, I mean, no Kondo is going to screw over the Condor. And Bowmage, well, he doesn't have precision, but he does have aim. I always like taking precision on Bowmage, just because it sort of guarantees the imbue stun. He also went with Adept Arcanist, which is, I think, what's the other upgrade on that line? I think it's like Strike, I want to say? Nah, that's probably where precision is. I don't know. Like I said, I've been really out of it. I haven't played much recently. Oh yeah, it's Illuminate. Yeah, there's thank you Raziella for reinforcing my memory there. So yeah, I always take Illuminate, but just to make him a nice little ball of debuffs at 6 range. But here we're gonna see the Fire for Effect. I think that was giving all of Eth's archers some more AP as well as burn. So he's definitely gonna get this kill here on the Wilder King. I'm assuming. Yep, 14 damage in that. Wow, look at that, 3 dots. 3 dots to finish that guy off. That's major overkill there. But that gets him that kill. And Condor really can't do anything to the Blade Master yet. So he's just going to wait on Bowmage to come in for the stun. Bowmage lining up with the aim. Preparing to... I'm assuming he aimed, right? He should have aimed to give himself precision so that he could stun that Blade Master. Because stun... stun counters no Kondo. So yeah, that was 2 spells though to take care of the that Wilderkin in mid. It cost him the bullseye as well, and I'm pretty sure I think I've seen Eth play this deck before. I think he only runs 1 bullseye, so that sort of a power turn spell. Burning it early to get a kill. You kind of have to make some big gains on the board. Otherwise you're going to be in a little bit of a pickle if you want to get more kills later. I think he's not playing full archers, but he is playing a fair amount of them. I haven't really seen much of Deadly Tracker recently. He took Logistics, which gives him the 6 range, so that's pretty nice. So he could have I think he could have 7... Does Archer Commander give range? No, he just gives rain of arrows. But yeah, he could have up to 7 range with the Tracker, so that could be fun. See some of that later. And the Elven Blade Master actually retreats here from mid, dropping the Oasis in the font. So nice little 25 Nora contest. That does give Condor Fury something to do with his AP though. So he hits into that, forces Raziella back. And I think, I mean, I don't know, I think I would have teleported like more over here, unless he was planning to send Blade Master to reinforce mid. As now, otherwise, he's going to have to spend a lot of AP just to get him back to the font. And without any AP saved, I mean, no Kondo is kind of dead in the water. So what was that? Another spell, an herbal antidote coming in here for F for the cleanse, and he moves back. He's gonna have a little bit of trouble here with his archers having such a 3 minimum range against the melee champion. But he puts down the Dream Blossom for a heal as well. And then again, stacking up all those dots, that's 7 damage over, or no, what am I saying? 4, 7, 9, 10, 11 damage over time after just one proc. So we'll have to see a stun come out here from the Bow Mage. Or no, sorry, a hit coming in here for the Bow Mage. I don't think he can get this kill on the Marksman with what he's got. He's got Heart Strike here. Well, one hit from Bow Mage won't put him under 50% though. So he's going to need another spell. Eth has burned 3, maybe 4 spells actually, just to get some action going in mid here. He does have Blade Master to get a hit if he wants. So you can do 9. Melee Specialist will do it's rank 1, so 2. So 11 more damage plus 8 from the Bow Mage. That should put him under 50%. 22 from 44, and then Warden of the Path can probably finish. But then, of course, he'll abandon this bottom mid-font in order to do so. So will it be worth it? Will Raziella take this bait here? If he does get the kill on this Marksman, then, I mean, it'll basically be 3 versus 1 in mid here, and Eth might have to concede that font. Unless, I mean, he could put a relic down, maybe, but yeah. So there's the banner coming down. Helps out Warden of the Path a little bit, giving her some more HP, and this should be a kill. And then meanwhile, Fury is going to tangle with the Condor down in here. Block 2, not going to be as helpful versus a 1 to 2 range. But here comes the kill here for Warden of the Path. Gets the globe and blocks, sort of blocks Deadly Tracker out of the font. That is a nice little quest kill heal, by the way. So brings him back basically to full. So it's kind of even right now. Eth has 3 fonts. And Raziella is about to have 3 fonts as well. So I'm assuming Eth will not decide to contest. He'll probably just leap away and then maybe get a parting shot onto the Warden of the Path or something. But Bow Mage here can also get a hit on the Warden. I don't see him getting the kill on it though. I mean, he's already burned quite a few spells just to try and make some headway. And there's another Marksman. These Marksmen are really cheap. 66 Nora for pretty decent stats, and then ranged champion with dot is always helpful. And okay, so he took precision on these guys. That's why he doesn't have it on his Bow Mage. Yeah, Adept Arcanist is kind of an interesting ability. I think it could be well, basically we're talking about reworking passive champions in the future for the ability revamp. And I think our Adept Arcanist could maybe be put on some of the more magic-y type ones to grant them basic attacks. If we decide to give them like base damage with no basic attack base. So maybe like that's something we did with Clayform, for example, who doesn't have a basic attack, but he has like mimic damage to let him fight. But for the moment, F does have, I mean, he has mid, he has some compensation for losing this font. And Elven Fury can actually utilize the mobility from KF font bonus to walk into that font there. So he does contest. Condor has mobility herself, so she can get off a couple hits in return. And let's see, Hunter Fighter, are you warrior? No, you're a knight. Okay, so that'll do. Takes a bit reduced damage. And then Bow Mage, the Bow Mage standoff here, just sniping each other down. I think Imbue Stun has, well, Eth's Bow Mage has 1 turn left on Imbue Stun. Or it should after, well, he didn't actually use it down here, did he? So he probably has it up. But, yeah, I don't know. There's probably going to be a ton of mistakes. And, okay, well, there's a Brambles to finish it off. But there's probably going to be a ton of things I miss here, being out of the game as I am. But sucky commentary is better than no commentary at all, right? Right? So yeah, so Bow Mage goes down. And Investigator, I mean, Spell Surge Blinding Flash, I mean, like, you'd assume that he's running Blinding Flash if he has that. So if that goes down, I mean, you can't really put it on the Marksman because of precision. But it could stall that Tracker for a bit. Precision going to come in here nice versus no Kondo here, though. And, man, these Blade Masters are so fucking efficient. 60 Nora that dodges twice a turn, and then they have Shatter for anti-equip, and they're decently statted as well. But Elven Strategist here coming down, and Eth is currently font behind, but if this Condor gets a quest kill on the Fury, I'm pretty sure Eth can crawl back into it. But Raziella is definitely leveraging his Nora advantage now, putting more forces towards that bot side, and Condor will be feeling quite isolated now, especially because he doesn't have the Bow Mage backup. So we'll see. Eth is, I mean, he's retreating. He's not in a great position. Actually, that Blade Master is in a very nice position himself to run up there and take that font. And I mean, if I were Raziella, I would just like say, screw it. I'm sending that Blade Master topside. He won't have no Kondo AP, but fuck, I mean, it's a free font basically. Unless there is, I mean, there could be a Dream Box in there, but I doubt it. So does this strategist have... oh, he has Grant Reflexes. Alright. Well, that should be... Blade Master is melee. I usually prefer Grant Evasive. I think Grant Evasive is, for the most part, better than Grant Reflexes on champions that can take it. I think on stuff like Nepheri Beastcaller that can run both, you usually end up running one with, Reflexes, one with Grant Evasive. But range is, I think, definitely more valuable to protect from than melee. So there's the stun. What was that stun from? Why is Condor... Oh, Oaken Mace. Interesting. So I've always liked Oaken Mace. I thought it was a nice tech for Cthulhu Forest to have, like, spot stun like that. Because they can run Bow Mage too, right? So you can just get off chain stuns. You can stun with Bow Mage for a turn and then Oaken Mace for another stun. And it gives a melee attack too, so you can give it to your ranged units. Like something with like 5 to 6 range and then just suddenly be able to melee. You can do the same thing with like Ancestral Anger as well. But the utility of the stun is nothing to scoff at, and barring anything else, that Condor is going to be dead. I don't even think it's worth escape magicking it. Just because, like, it'll go back to the font, but I mean, at 15 HP, it's not going to be doing much combat-wise. So, Strategist teleporting boldly towards that font. And Raziella in a pretty comfortable position. I feel like Eth could totally get that kill on the Bow Mage, though. It's like a spell. You can get one hit with the Marksman for 13, plus the Chill. And then Tracker. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Tracker's in range as well. So it'll just take a hit there and a hit there to finish that Bow Mage off. Because, again, like, the Deadly Tracker still has Burn 2 from the Fire for effect. So Raziella just a little bit careless there with the Bow Mage. When did this proc? Yeah, end of your turn. So there will be no Elven Statue heals to save that Bow Mage. So Eth managing to stay in the fight, and these paths of Delim providing some limited mobility here to the Warden. But ooh, an I was going to say Archangel, Avenging Angel from Eth. Trying to save that Condor Fury, but not quite giving it enough HP to live. Where was that Centaur banner going down? On the Strategist. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, Eth managing to reclaim this middle font, but gonna end up losing this one in return for it. So, yeah, Raziella goes to collect that globe. I don't know, that would probably mean the death of the Warden too, though. Oh, it's okay, so he teleports back to this path. That's nice. So, I don't think that'll actually end up saving him, will it? Because he can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, he's out of range here. 13, 10. Nah, it's not quite dead. But the statue is there still to contest that font for Raziella. I would say Eth is still in this game. I mean, he's going to lose this mid font, but I mean, he's got some pressure up here. He's got reinforcements coming. It's still, he still has 2 fonts. Oh yeah, I forgot the Blade Master. Okay, so yeah, never mind. Eth is totally losing this. The Blade Master was like, man, out of sight, out of mind, right? And I even thought that would happen too. I figured he would run to contest this font. And he did. So yeah, Eth is actually kind of losing this. Lost topside pretty hard. And down comes a Shade, so now Eth will have Stealth to contend with. Not too much of a problem now that the Marksman's out. But still, the loss of that font, I mean, he's on basically 4 fonts to 1 at the moment. So we will see. Is it going to be, man, he's going to be so pissed when I upload this game, because he's had some bangers that he's wished I would record, but alas, I'm never around at the right time. But and then when the game I do end up uploading of his is going to be a loss. I say that. I mean, he might come crawling back into this game. You never know, but it is unlikely. Don't worry, Eth. I'll get a better one of you eventually. Now that I'm going to be recording regularly again. Yeah. So this he gets a hit here on the Blade Master, and Fury can handle that font. Raziella should probably deploy something big, something tanky, or I don't know, a Colossal Boa, maybe a Condor of his own. I'm trying to think of good tanky Kathir Forest champs. It's always kind of a struggle for me. I don't know why. There's the Aurora Lancer, which is I guess he's tanky. Enraged Grizzly has some nice stats for his price. He's just kind of boring, you know, in my opinion. Just a big ball of health. But there's an Elven Bard. Where was that? Down here. All right. And a Falconer too. Falconer has sort of fallen out of favor in recent years. He's basically just been power creeped, kinda. He used to be balls to the wall OP back when he had Hawk Attack. Like Hawk Attack used to have ranks, and he was closer to about 50 Nora at that time too. And Hawk Attack 3 was basically Hammer Throw that gave Rend, so he had +6 damage on that attack. And, you know, with Domain Veg, too. So he'd be hitting for, like, 20 damage every few rounds. It's crazy. But he's still a decent champ. He's cheap. And with Detection 3, always useful. It's always nice to see melee champions with alternate attacks at range. Just so they can keep up in the sort of range-dominated meta that we've found ourselves in. But Eth is definitely not looking like he's going to surrender, despite being out-fonted, out-Nora'd, and out-champed as well. Raziella handling this pretty nicely, shuttling his forces between mid-fonts, as you should on this map. I played against him last night, actually, and I had the most hilarious scapegoat ever, countering a force transfusion. It was pretty funny. Scapegoat is always one of my favorite spells in the game. Mostly because it's hidden and there's not really a combat log notification. The spell just kind of jumps without any indication that's what happened. It really should be rectified though. Like it really should show up in the combat log that a scapegoat took it the way like Snowblind does. But it's just like the opponent usually like sits there for a few seconds wondering like, why the fuck his spell went to some random champion across the board. It's always kind of makes me giggle to see that reaction. But Solace Marksman here going to move in for yet another hit on the Blade Master. Kind of a shame that the Deadly Tracker doesn't have precision to finish it off. But he should probably move in for Battle Master as well, right? Yeah? No, he's going to do a Thorn Collection. I guess he doesn't need it then. Does let Investigator swallow a spell, as well as hand over the Globe. I think one of my favorite underutilized tech options in KF is Counterbalance. Because I think in a deck, especially like this, where a lot of your damage, like finishers come from DOT, it's good to have a relic like that that just completely negates Nora generation by the opponent. Because globes, I mean, we all know how powerful like Soul Collection is and how good Despoil is in Forsaken Waste. And like Nora Globes, the player who gets the Nora Globes usually ends up winning the long game in a lot of these fights, because I mean that's 15%. I mean that's basically the SP bonus on steroids, just by collecting one Nora Globe. So even after like 2 or 3 globes, Counterbalance already pays for itself, and after that it's just pure profit. And I mean you still get the Nora from the globes yourself if you happen to collect them. It just denies the opponent, which is nice. But Elven Strategist here doing quite a bit of work, providing Battle Master. He's got Spell Breach, weakened spells. Centaur Banner has always been really strong. I think kind of found itself a nice home in pretty much every KF deck, and I think it has that, the Centaur effect as well. Next rune, non-champion rune, it costs 10 more Nora. So I'm interested to see how Eth will play this out. He's still at font disadvantage, but he's working his way back. He's got some reinforcements coming with the Falconer. Aurora Inspector teleports in. That's going to be a nice magic bomb, though, hitting all 4 of these champions. It's kind of the downside of playing a strategist like this, is that you leave yourself open to AoE abilities. But the Warden here is a little bit too far off to make a decent impact in this fight. I guess he could... No, he doesn't have multi-attack. He can't Swift Wind. I guess he could do Horn of Order on the Inspector for Invigorate if he wants to try and force a kill here. But he'll probably just end up poking and then, you know, backing off. And Eth actually granted reflexes to that thing out of defiance for Raziella's ranged champions. Well, actually, there's the Oasis. Okay, so maybe the Fury will try and teleport in for a hit and make the grant reflexes worth it. But as it stands, the Bowmage is going to teleport in for 15 damage. Wait a minute. That was 15 from the Investigator. Yeah, I was gonna say 15 from Bowmage. That doesn't sound right. But Bowmage, actually, that's a perfect kill there on Soulless Marksman. Shocked 3 going to finish it off. I mean, I guess you could teleport in to finish it with Fury. No, he's 1 space off. Too bad. So I guess that'll leave the globe for Eth to pick up. But deploys the Tender down here. I don't know if I agree with deploying Tender here. I feel like Tender over here, like this is where the majority of the action is going to be concentrated, right? Like you're going to have forces, like there's the Shade to consider that stealthed up a while back. Like this is where all the action is. Deploying Tender down here doesn't really seem worth it. I guess he'd just put it down to try and deter a contest from the Fury. But he's also got the Bard down here that's not really doing anything, although Bard can just, you know, battle him from across the map. But yeah, his forces are pretty split. Raziella actually transfiguring, presumably for the resistances. Although, I mean, it might end up saving the Fury, resist physical, and then, you know, resist physical for the Hawk attack. But that will sort of cut into his Nora generation. But I mean, when you're up fonts like this, it doesn't hurt as much to transfigure. It does bring in another beefy champion to the fight at the end of the day. And then, you know, he can start healing his Warden. He probably could have put the Warden like right here, like in growth range, but that's just a minor thing. Archer Commander, where was that? I saw Archer Commander. Yeah, Archer Commander here. So again, he's deploying down here. I don't know why. I guess he's going to try and relocate, like move the fight down this way. But I mean, his avatar is kind of isolated now. I'd be worried about the Shade, although like he has 2 detection champs. I'm thinking the Shade is like somewhere around here then. Like it would have to be, because otherwise, you know, Eth would find it. His avatar is posturing pretty aggressively here. Bard walking into the font. I don't know if she's gonna want to take that fight for long. It does have charm, but it's not gonna be enough. And Elven Fury will go down to the debuffs. I don't know, would I kill with Strategist just so I can get the globe? I probably would, and then back off after getting that. Because I mean, you're already down on Nora. You want every point counts, right? He does a Hawk attack here onto the Inspector. Raziella's champions are kind of hurting. Like, he's going to lose the Fury, Inspector's down to half, Warden's below half, and then, you know, his other ones have to deal with Bard contesting the font. But Strategist relocates the Angel out of the way. Probably a good idea. Don't want to get it stunned by, you know, imbue. Where is that damn Elven Shade? It's got to be, like, Raziella has got to be kind of sneaking it around to this back font, maybe. That's what I'd think. Because it hasn't done anything in mid at all. I can't remember the upgrades. Did it have Stealth or did it have Flash Bomb? I'm pretty sure it only had Flash Bomb. So it should be out of Stealth soon, right? Because Flash Bomb has a duration of 4. Or maybe it had both. Oh, no, yeah, no, it can't have both. It should have one or the other. Yeah, we'll see. Well, whatever happens, happens. Eth still has to deal with this damn Blade Master with no condo. And I mean, he's lost his precision champs. Both of his Lancers are dead. Or not lancers, the frost archers, whatever they're called. They're all dead, and his bow mage is gone as well. So I guess he's gonna try and make a push towards bot side, figuring that these forces will be enough with the addition of the Avatar to keep him in the fight, in this mid fight. I mean, he's done a good job of poking down so far, but I think he's gonna find himself getting cut off soon. I think if I were Raziella, I would probably just deploy at this font and just, you know, pincer him, like, you know, from here and from here. Because Eth can't have any champions coming from this way anymore now that he's transfigured. So he's feeling a bit alone. And that Blade Master down to 4. Any spell will do. And, ooh, a Thorn Trap. Why is that revealed? Is that Raziella's? Yeah, that's Raziella's Thorn Trap, that's why. And then, yeah, Elven Shade manages to finish 10 poison. Oh, yeah, wait, he has 1 to 2 range. What? Oh, wait, yeah, this gives +1 range to elves. That's interesting. So he gave 1 range to that to help finish that kill. Usually I only see this equip on, like, Menelaus or something. Like, something already long-ranged, which I kind of feel is a little bit of a waste. I feel like the surprise addition of bonus range to a melee champ can come in handy. Like, just then. Like, it just did. But Eth slowly finding his forces getting whittled away. And I'd probably, I don't know, I'd probably just take the Thorn Trap with the Avatar. I mean, it'll get cleansed on the following turn, so the debuff won't matter as much. But he has some decisions to make here. He's got 2, like, 10 HP champions, which he could probably kill both, yeah, with the Dream Blossom there. And then after that, I mean, it's basically just... Blade Master won't be far behind. Raziella didn't move his Avatar, which I think is a pretty big mistake. He needs that 21 damage in the fight. And as far as down here, wait, Eth didn't move his other champs yet. He's got to get, I'd probably send them mid. I mean, they're already down here. I'm assuming that's what he wanted to do with them all along. But I don't know, I think sending at least Tender up top to support is probably a good idea. Because she can heal up, keep the action going up here. It looks like he might send Commander that way as well. And then meanwhile, Bard is just gonna, you know, demoralizing Descant, depress the hell out of that Warden of the Path. Which, actually, Raziella didn't move either. I don't know why he didn't move, like, half his champions here on his last turn. Maybe he has his camera like this, like, positioned like this, and he just completely forgot about bot side. It's not likely, but I guess maybe he just ran out of time on his turn or something. But the Thorn Trap does come down on the Avatar, as expected. And yeah, Elven Shade does have both. Yeah, that's why. I was wondering, like, why was it stealth for so long? Flash Bomb should have worn off. But yeah, he just stealthed up there. I'm forgetting all my upgrades now that I've been gone from the game for so long. And wow, Arrow Singer double deploy here from Math. He had a lot of Nora he was banking. I guess he was saving it for spell spam if he needed it to kill those champions in mid. But Dream Blossom is really cheap. 20 Nora, or maybe it's 25. Either way, it's really cheap for the that strong of an effect. Like, it even distracts, like, after the healing and stuff. The funny thing about Dream Blossom is that you don't even have to demolish it yourself. You can either wait for an opponent to move next to it, and even if they kill it, like with attacks from range, it still triggers. Like it still goes off on your surrounding champions. So Elven Shade does a flash bomb, but gets detected before by the Falconer. So yeah, like, the order of operations there is, like, it stealths in place and then relocates. So if you have a detection champ in the radius, before, like, as you're flash bombing, it will detect it before it moves. So where's that path going? Down bot. Yeah, just bringing in some reinforcements of the Inspector. And, I mean, F has pretty good control over that font. I mean, Raziella could send his Avatar in, but I'd be a little cautious of that. Now that he's diverting all of his champions down to deal with the Bard. Should still be okay for him. I mean, he's going to kill that Bard next turn, but the double Arrow Singer deploy is kind of worrying. Eth has played this pretty well, managing to keep himself in the game against the heavy losses he suffered earlier by losing that font. I'm wondering where all of Raziella's champion, like Nora, is going. He's deploying. He's just not really deploying in the right places. Like, I don't know, I'd probably be deploying, like I would have deployed more over here, and I think he has, like, 2 champions is more than enough to hold this font. He had this font for a turn, but he didn't actually deploy there. Like, he deployed his Warden of the Path all the way in the back, so it didn't really, you know, fend off the Bard. Maybe a more aggressive positioning would have kept, like, the Bard away, because then she would have been, like, subject to attacks sooner. But, wow, actually, Raziella concedes the game. So I don't have to feel bad about uploading this game of Etherielians. So nicely played to both, and we'll see everyone in the next one.